In this section, we will discuss about file handling in Python. So what is this file? Files are named memory locations which contains stored similar data. Okay, so these files are named memory locations, and in these locations what we are having, these locations contains which contains similar data. So basically, if you want to save any kind of data, we use files, right? So these files are named memory locations, and that locations contains similar data. So in Python, these functions can be handled by the user in different ways. So basically, file handling in Python follows a particular order. First, we have to open a file. Then we have to do some operation, whatever operation that is required, and then close the file. These three steps are important, or which is necessary for file handling in Python. So these two. So in Python, you consider in Python file handling includes, so this is basically these three steps that is necessary for any kind of file handling operation. So in that case, first you have to open the file, that is first one, and second one, any operation that we have to do on that particular file. So the second one is operation and operations, and third one is close the file. So these steps are necessary for handling file in Python. So what are the different syntax that we will use to open a file, to do the operations, to close the file? All those things we will discuss in this section. So basically, when we are doing the program, we are actually we can have different functions, we can have different operations with these different functions available in Python, different operators available in Python. All those calculations, arithmetic operations, or different mathematical operations, all those things that we can do in by using in Python by using different functions and operators. But apart from that, we can also handle a different file that is saved in some memory in your system, and that can be accessed by using Python, and that can be edited. You can write some data into that file, you can open that file, and then you can read that file, what are the different contents in that file. All those things can be also performed by using Python. So how we can do that? How we can open a different file in your system by using Python, and how we can edit the contents in the Python in that particular file, how we can read that file, how we can write into that file, all those things, the different kind of operations are there, and also how we can close that file after doing all those operations. That we will discuss in this section. So we will be covering the basic introduction part of file handling in Python. You can look more into this topic if you are interested to learn more about this. Okay, so first we have to open a file. So let us assume that we have a file with the name document. Let's say file with the document name document. Okay, so this is just a text file, document txt. So which means that this file name is document and it is a text file .txt. And I have saved this file in some memory location in my system. Okay, so I mean in some directory. In some directory, I have saved this particular text file. And suppose this text file contains, let's say Python file handling, and in the next line we are having another text which is opening a file. Then we have operation, then let's say closing a file. These are some kind of strings or some kind of text which is saved in this document. Okay, in this document.txt. So in this document.txt text file contains this much of data or this much of um, text inside that file. So we have to access this text inside that particular document.txt file. So this one I have saved in in particular directory in my system. So first I have to open this file document.txt, and in order to open this particular file we have different commands, and the basic command for opening any file, and that can be written as f equal to, or syntax of that particular uh, step, that is to open a file in Python, that will be f equal to open, let's say that file name is document.txt, that is the file that I have to open, right, comma mode of operation. So this one will be the mode and this one will be the name. So basic syntax will be like any function f equal to open, sorry, any file open, file equal to open uh, your file name with that extension, and then comma mode. So we can open the file in different modes. If you're opening in this modes, we have basically 4 different types of modes are there basically. Okay, we are using 4 different modes, and that are read mode, and second one is write mode, and then we have append mode, and last one is read write mode, that is read write mode. So for read mode we are using R, and for write mode we are using W, append we are using A, and read write we are using R plus. Okay, suppose if I need to open this file document.txt in read mode, then I have to write the instruction like f equal to open, f stands for file, so open document, that is my file name, .txt with extension. So this one I have to open in read mode. So for read I should write R, in mode I have to write R. Okay, now this will open your document in read mode. You cannot edit that particular file, but you can access the different text available in that file, or if you are using some different file, then you can access the information from that file, but you cannot change anything in that file. Okay, if you are opening that in read mode. And if you want to get the data inside this file, then you can use the read operation. That is, after opening this file, you can write it like print. Let's say this is my file now that is opened. Okay, that is my file is document.txt, that is opened, and that will be equal to f. Okay, so my this f will be the opened file document. Okay, and then print f dot, if I put f dot read, this particular function, and this one will be used to get all the information or data inside that file. So it will read all those. F dot read means it will read all the information in that particular document, that particular file, and that will be printed by using this print command. So print f dot read. So this will print all the values or whatever textures are there in this particular document. So we have assumed the textures are like Python file handling in the first line, then opening a file is the second line, operation is the third line, closing a file is the fourth line. So these lines should be printed after this command. So once you have given this print f dot read, then we will get the print as Python file handling. Then we had opening a file, then operation, and finally we have closing a file. So in this case, we will be getting all these textures as a print. Okay, so this is how we can access data inside a file. This is one of the method. We can also go with some different way. We can also go with option. Okay, you can use with open document or txt as uh, f, like that. You can also do that kind of statements. But we are going through in this section. We will be discussing through this format. Okay, so this one is also very easy. So in this way, we can open a file in read mode, and you can read or you can get all the data inside that file, but you cannot edit the data inside the file by using this. You can also give, after opening this file, you can also give the read option like f dot read. For example, if I put inside this parenthesis, if I put some numbers, for example, 6. So this number representing how many characters you need. Okay. So in this case, it will be, so if you are using like this, first 6 characters will be printed. So in this case, Python will be printed. Only Python will be printed. Remaining characters will not print. And if you do this same instruction again, then print f dot read. Let's say again you are putting 6. The next 6 characters will be printed. So it is printing. It is actually it is reading each of those 6 characters first, then next 6 characters. So once you have read this much of characters, then the cursor will be on at the 7th position. And if you are using the same command again, print f dot read 6, which means that you are reading from that position, you are reading next 6 characters. So this will give you the next 6 character. That will be, initially there is a space, okay, and then f I l e, then also one more space. So that will be printed. So this way you can access different characters in this particular file. And you can also use different other functions available or methods in file handling in Python. Uh, for example, if you want to get the position of the current cursor position in that particular file, so in that case you can use f dot tell. f dot tell. So this f dot tell will give you information about the cursor position, where the cursor is right now. That information will be given by this f dot tell. So this will give you cursor position. And the that you can use in file handling is the f dot seek. If you want to change your cursor position to some particular point, then you can use cursor f dot seek. So this is to change the cursor position. Okay, let us consider in this example, if you are putting after this particular statement or instruction, putting this f, then what will be what it will give? I will just erase these things. So if you are using f dot tell here, then it will give you the current position. So 6 are over here, 6 are over now. So 6 and 6, 12. So 13 will be the 13th position, right? So it will give you 13. Okay. Or if you are putting, if you are using, for example, Python, so this will be 6 and 6. So this will be in the 12th position, right? Because it is up to 12, it is going. I think it will be only 12. So it will be 12. And if you are putting for seek, in the case of seek, if you are putting some 7 or something, okay, then it will be going to the next, after next, that cursor position will be shifted to that particular point. Okay, for example, if you are giving here 7, in that case it will shift, it will go to which position? So if you are considering this one, this is the first one, 2, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then seventh. Seventh will be space, right? This position, the cursor will be at this position at that time. So if you are providing this f6, 7, then the cursor will shift to this position, that is before that f, character f. Okay, so in this way you can change the cursor position. Also you will be able to know in which place my cursor is right now by using this f dot tell and as well f dot seek options that is available in Python. Okay, and also you can print this texts inside this document .txt by line. So in that case, you can use for loop to print. So in that case, you can use like for line in f, for line in f, print line, comma and equal to space. So in this case, for all line in that function, so we are having 4 lines in this function, in this particular function, that is nothing but, in this particular file. So this four lines in that particular file. Basically when you are considering this for loop, it will be considering all those lines in that particular file. So we are having 4 lines in that particular file. So that will be executed by using this for loop, and that will be considered as in each of when it consider each of those lines in that particular file, and that will be printed. So print line, and when it is over, then the end will be like space. Okay, you can provide any value here to represent that as the end of this that particular line. So that you can decide, but here we have given space. So we can print those texts inside that file by using for loop also line by line. Okay, so this is how we can get the data inside that file line by line. We can also have we can also print a line from the data by using another option or another method. For example, if you are using print um, f dot read line, if you are using read line option, and in that case you will be getting the next line. Okay, so for example, if I am giving this particular so this one will be providing you this. If you are running this particular code, then it will provide all the lines in that particular file. So you'll be getting 4 lines that we already discussed before. All those 4 lines will be printed here. Okay, now instead of that, if you are using print f dot read, so I will again just give that command here for opening the file. So first I will open that one. Let's say f equal to open. My file name is document.txt, comma in read mode. And in the next line, if I am putting like print f dot read line, I put it like this, then it will directly give me the first line. Okay, so this will give me the first line. The first line is, what was that? Python file handling, right? Python file handling, that will be printed. Python file handling. So this is the first line in that particular file. And if I use again the same statement here, same instructions, then f dot read line, then I will be getting the next line. So this will give me the next line. So if I am using this twice, then first one will be printed and then next one will be printed. So in this case, it will be opening a file, right? I think it's opening a file. Yeah. So this will print opening a file. That is the next line. So if you continue this particular instruction, print f dot read line, then the next line will be printed. So each time the next line will be printed. And instead of this, we can also go for read lines. So f equal to open document dot txt, comma in read mode. And you can also directly go for print f dot read lines. In read lines, we will be getting all the lines. All the lines will be printed. Will be printed. So in that file, all those lines which is present in that particular file will be printed by using read lines. So remember that this is lines and this is line. We have two options, read line, so that will give you each line. For read lines, then in that case it will provide you all the lines. So once you open this uh, file in write mode, and if you add any data, then your previous data will be deleted. Or the new data will be the previous data will be replaced by the new data. Okay. So in this way, we can open a file in write mode, and if you want to write anything into this file, then you can use f dot write option. So by using this, we can add any text into this file. If I write just text here, then that text will be added to this document, and whatever textures were there in this particular document.txt file, that will be deleted. So only this text will be available in that particular case. So for example, if I put something else here instead of giving text, I can give some writing a file, for example. If I put it like this, then only this particular line will be available in that particular file after this operation. And if you want to write multiple lines by using this command, then you can also go for f dot write. If you're writing like writing a file, okay, then you have to use the /n option, then do some other lines. So write some other lines, for example, deleted or file, something you can write. Okay, so if I am using this two, then first this one will give me only one line in your text document. So that will be writing a file, that will be the content or the text inside that particular file. And in this case, we will be having writing a file, and in the next line, we will be having deleted all files. And I just have just given some text, that's all. So it will come line by line. For that, we have to use this /n option. /n option, then we can get that particular lines by lines we can get in that text document. Okay. And if you want to keep the previous data inside that file itself and you want to add more data into that, then you have to go for appending option. So in that case, you have to open your file in append mode. So that in that case, open, let's say document .txt. Then you have to provide a, that is append mode. So in append mode, if you are going to write anything, for example, if you are writing now f dot write something like writing in append mode, I'm just giving these texts, writing in append mode. So if we provide this, then if you are running your this particular program, then you will be getting all those previous lines. These lines will be there. Writing a file will be there. Then deleting or deleted all files will be there. And along with this, at the end of your document, the new line also will be there. That is writing in append mode. So this append mode will not delete your previous data in that particular file, but it will just add new lines or new documents or new data into that particular document or into that particular file. So for that, you have to use this append mode. You have to open that file in append mode if you want to retain that previous data inside the file. So in that case, you have to open this in the append mode. Okay, and also if you are having any other kind of files, then in that case we have to go for the binary format. We cannot use this. In normal case, it will take as a string form or the text form. But in case of any other format, for example, if you want to open a figure, in such cases we have open the file in binary. Okay, so in that case we have to provide mode as binary. So if you want to open, for example, a figure which has an extension of jpg, so in that case we have to give it like f equal to open, and suppose my file name is some fig. Okay, so fig dot jpg, this is my extension. So in this case, we can read that one. Okay, we can open it in a read mode, but along with that we have to give b for binary mode. Okay, so binary mode will allow you to open a different kind of file apart from text file. If you are opening any figures or any other kind of files, in that case you have to use this binary mode. Okay, so here b stands for binary mode. So if you are opening any other file other than text file, then you have to use this binary mode. So binary mode, actually it will give you the binary data of that particular file. And if you want to get that particular file, for example, a figure again, then you have to join all these binary data and take back, and then you can see that particular figure. Okay, so in this way we can open a file which is having some different extension apart from txt, apart from text. In that case we have to use this binary mode. So here I am using rb, which means that it is in read mode and binary. Okay, we can also go for wb for writing and binary. So that is possible. So in this simple case, if you are using it like this, open fig.jpg rb, then it will read that particular figure. Okay, and if you want to get that figure again, then you have to go for some different operation. For example, in this case, if I am, let's say, if I want to get that figure again in some different file names, then I can open this f equal to open. I can give it like this, f equal to, so this, let's say this is not there, then I can give my figure, some name I can give, .jpg. Then I have to open it in write mode. So this particular figure is not there. Now you can use double quote also, no problem. Anyway, so I'm just giving here like this. So in this case, as you can see, um, this particular my figure.jpg is not in my directory. It is not there. But once you have opened it in write mode, that particular file will be created. Okay, even if that file is not there, that particular file will be created once you open that in write mode. So in this case, open myfig.jpg in write mode in binary. So in that case, that particular file is not existing, but that will be created. Okay, and what is the data inside that myfig? There is nothing now. There is nothing. It is just created as a .jpg extension. So in order to get data or values for that particular file, so in that case, I just have to go for loop, like for line in f. So this will give different lines in that particular function f. Okay. Okay, so I have given f here already, right? So I will just give f1 here. Okay, f1 is my new figure that is that I have created, or that is created by using this write mode. So this f, whatever lines are there in that particular figure f, that will be that I am using here. This f is my first figure with the fig.jpg, and the lines in that particular figure will be read by this for loop. Okay, and then so that lines will be the operation of for loop will be like first line, second line, third line, that like that it will be executed. And then in each of those lines I will be writing all those lines into my f1. So f1 dot write line. So each of those lines will be returned to this f1 file. Okay, so in this way I can have all the lines which is stored in this particular file f, that will be stored into f1, or it will be returned to f1 by using this for loop. In this way I can recreate that particular figure. And what is my f1? My f1 is nothing but my figure.jpg, that is opened in write mode. So each time when I do this f1 dot write line, each lines in f will be returned to f1, and that F1 will be my new figure with the same lines which is inside this fig.jpg. So I can recreate that figure by using this kind of commands. Okay, so in this way, how we can handle a file with a different extension other than txt, other than text file. Okay, so these are the basic idea behind how we can handle files in Python, and we will discuss about the uh, pickling in next class. So now we will go to the programming section, and before that I can give you a rough idea. So we already discussed about R, that is for read mode, W for write mode, A for appending, and R plus for read and write. If you want to have both operation read and write, then you can use this R plus option. Then we can have T. T is for text. Okay, T is for text. That means that opens your file in text mode. So by default, your file will be opened in this text mode. You don't have to provide this T, because if you are providing any file, that will be by default, that will be taken as a text file. Okay, so in this for example, in this cases, we didn't provide any T there, right? So it will by default it will take as a uh, text file. So if you are not providing T, then it will be taken as text file, that is by default. Or you can write RT or WT in such a way that it will be taken as a text file. And again, you are having this binary. So if you are providing B, then it will be taken as a binary file. Okay, so these are the different modes available in this file handling. There are different other methods also available in this file handling, splitting of a particular file is there. So such kind of different methods are there, but we are only discussing the basic introduction or rather the fundamental of that file handling here. So you can check into some other uh, documents or videos for more deep learning into this file handling in Python. So that is possible. That so already there are many methods also available in file handling in Python. So these are the some basic methods. Okay, so if you are writing similarly, this read mode is also, this is default mode. This is also default mode, so you don't have to write that particular read mode while opening the file. If you are not writing anything in that mode of operation, then it will be automatically taken as a read mode. So it is also default read mode as well as the text format, that is T mode also. These two are default. If you are not providing R or not providing T, that will be directly taken as read and text file. Okay, so these are defaults. Right? Okay, so I hope you can see the window, and I have saved a file, text file, which is having name document in this Python folder itself. So you may not be able to see that. So I have already saved that in that particular folder. So I will be accessing that file with name document.txt. Okay. So if your file is not in that particular directory, you can also go for that directory after open, for example, some C drives and C slash that particular folder name, and then that text file you can give. So that path also you can define in that particular format. So here I am just going to open that particular file. So file F open. My file name is document.txt. So this one I have saved in that Python folder. So comma. I have to open that in read mode. So I will put to R and press enter. So here I will be opening that file as F. Okay. And now if you want to get the data inside that file, then I have to write print and I have to use the read operation. So read and every data inside that file. So I will just use that bracket, that is empty bracket, parenthesis, and then I will just press enter. So I think I have, oh sorry, I have to write it f dot read. So dot read, and this, now you can get all the data inside that particular file. So these are the data available in that file, text documents or text strings or texts that is inside that particular file line by line. So the first line is Python file handling. Second one is opening a file. Third one is operations. Fourth one is closing a file. So now, if you want to get only the first 6 strings in this particular file, then I can write print f dot read of 6. First 6 characters will be printed. I don't know what happened to this print. Let's say f dot read. Oh, that cursor that will be already in that position, because we already read all those uh, data. So first you have to change that into the initial position. Otherwise, you can just open that file again. So I will just open that file again. Let's say f equal to open. Now you can give the name, that is document. Because once you have read all those lines, then your cursor will be at the end of that last line, right? Then you have, if you are giving f dot read 6, then it will be giving you the next 6 characters. So it will be nothing, it will be space. So it will be, if it is nothing there in that document after that particular point, then it will not give you any value, right? So this is document.txt. So I just want to open that file again to show you how we can get the first 6 strings like that. So comma, again I will open it in read mode. Okay, now I can write print f dot read 6 characters. The first 6 characters will be printed. That is nothing but Python. Now if I use again the same, like f dot read first characters, if I put it again 6 characters, then it will not read from the beginning. It will read from the current cursor position. That is up from n, it will be reading. So it will be giving me space, file, space. Okay, 6 characters, next 6 characters will be. Now if you want to get it to know what is my cursor position at this situation, then you have to write f dot tell. That will give you the current cursor position, that is at 12 position. Okay, and if you want to change that into to some other position, for example, if you want to get the to move that cursor position to the first point, okay, in that case you can use that f dot okay, you will not be able to see these things, right? So in that case, you can use f dot seek. So once if you are writing that program in this shell, you will be able to see different methods, but it is not available in this screen now. So when you are writing that programming by your own in your own system, when you are using your own system, then you are writing the program, then you can see once you put that f dot, then you will be getting all the other functions or methods available for file handling. So in this case, I will not be may not be able to share that part, because in this meet we can share only one window. Okay, so we can go for f dot seek to change that cursor position. If I put 0, then it will go to the initial position. Okay, so if I press enter, then if I again print, for example, print f dot read 6. So if the cursor position is now at the first point or the initial position, then in that case it should print Python again, right? So again I will get Python. So that f dot seek will be shifting that cursor position to the initial point. Okay, so in this way you can use f dot tell as well as f dot seek to know the cursor position as well as uh, to get or change that cursor position. Now, for example, for we can also use this for loop to get all the lines printed. So for line in F, for line in F, now I can print line, comma, if that lines are over, which means end should be some space. Okay. Now if I execute this for loop, then I will get all those lines. Now it is printing file handling. You can see from the screen, it is printing from file handling because my cursor position is now at that point. Okay, so it will be printing from that position onwards. Okay, so Python will not be printed. If you want to get from the initial position itself, then we have to move that cursor position to the initial point. Then we can go for this for loop. Then all those lines from the beginning itself, it will be printed. But in this case, my cursor position is now in that after that Python, uh, then Python word, then only it will be taking that line file handling that will be printed. Okay. Uh, if you want, then we can go for that. I can just give f dot seek 0, then it will be cursor will be moved to the initial position. And if I use that for loop now, then the entire line from the beginning itself will be printed. Okay. Print line, comma, and with space. Now you can see Python also there. All those from the beginning itself it is printing. Okay, so that's about how we can print the entire line by using for loop. We can also go for this read line option. Just I will just to go for f dot seek. I'm just going to that initial position again. The cursor will be moved to the initial point. And now if I am using f dot read line instead of that, print f dot read line. So in this case, it will be printing that line, first line, and then second line, then third line, like that, line by line. So you can get first line if you are printing like this, and then if you are using again f dot read line, then the next line will be printed. Like that you can do. And if you are using lines instead of this, you are using f dot read lines, print dot read lines. So in this case, entire lines will be printed. So also remember that these entire lines will be printed as a list. So I think I didn't mention that in theory part. So these entire lines will be printed as a list of values. Okay. And in this, if you are using for loop by using for line in F, then in that case you will be getting that line by line, right? But in this case, these entire lines will be printed in a list. Okay, as a list it will be printed, and that separation you can see from this slash n. You can see from here that that slash n representing that the next one, which is going to the next line. Okay, so slash n means to go into the next line, which means that just like as when you are pressing enter, it is going to the next line. So slash n is just representing the same. Okay, it means that the next line. So the first line we are having operation, next line we are having closing a file. So in this case, if you are using read lines, it will be printed in a as a elements in a list. Okay, so remember that. And if you are using this read line, then it will be printing line each lines in that particular file. Okay, so that is the difference between this read line and read lines, as well as the for loop. Also, you can see this is starting from operations. So that is basically the third line, right? Because my cursor is now in this third line position, so that from here only it will be printed. If I am moving that from to that zero, that is the to the initial position, then I will be getting each and every lines in this particular file in this list. Okay, because but in this case my cursor is already it is printed opening a file out, so it's already printed. So my cursor position will be starting from this line operations, then next closing a file. That's why I'm getting only these two lines, and all those lines will be printed in as an element in the list when you're using read lines. Okay, so that also you had in mind. And then now we can go for write operation. And for write operation, we have to open the file in write format, f equal to open uh, document. So when you're using this write operation, then the entire values or data in that particular document or file will be gone. It will be replaced with the new document. So document .txt, and that I have to open with write mode. So once you have done this, then entire data in that particular file will be gone. So f open, f equal to open document .txt comma w, and now that file is in the write mode. Now you can write any data into that particular file. Uh, Let us put some value here. So f dot write, f dot write. Let us put something like text itself. So some text I have to write here. So f dot write text. So this text will be uh, written into that particular file. So now I press enter. Okay. Now you can also see the cursor position here. Also, that is also printed here. You can get it from here, and so we don't have to give importance to that particular one. But if you are checking that values in that particular file now, for example, if you open that file in read mode, let me see, f equal to open same file I'm opening, document.txt. Now I am using read mode. I just want to print all the values or elements in that particular file. So print f dot read. Now you can see only this text is there. So all other data are gone. That are deleted. So if you are using write mode, then all those data, previous data will be deleted, and only the new data will be there. Now, if you want to add more data to this particular file, okay, then you can go for the same write mode, but with using that /n, you can add more lines. So for that, we can use f dot write. So in this case, we cannot write f dot write because this is now I opened this file in read mode. You cannot write that one. So I will show that f dot write. If I write something like this, and if I'm adding something text to or something, some other text I want to add to that file, and if I press enter, then that will be error because my file now it is open in read mode. You cannot write anything. So first I have to open that file in write mode. Open document.txt, write mode. First I have to open that in write mode. Then I can write any value. F dot right? So if I say, let's put some text1 slash n, then text2 slash n, text3. So this slash n is for to be in a new line. Okay, so when you are putting slash line, it will go to the new line, next line. So now I am pressing enter. So it will show me my cursor position. And if I open that file again, f equal to open, just copy that. Maybe it will work. So then enter, then print enter value available in that particular file. Now you can see text1, text2, text3. Because when I have written this f dot write, the previous data, that is text, that is gone, and my new data text1, text2, text3 are entered, or which are written into that file, and those texts are coming line by line because I'm putting slash n here. Okay, now if you want to add a data into this file without deleting any previous data, then you have to use append. Then you have to open the file in append mode. So f equal to open document, open document.txt, append mode. Is open in append mode. To write anything now, then that will not be previous values. So f dot write values inside that particular file. In that case, text4 is also coming in the same line because I didn't provide any slash in here after this next tree, or I didn't provide any slash in before this one also. So it will come in the same line. Okay, you can here. So in this way, you can add new data into this file without losing the previous data by using this mode. Okay, and then we have discussed about the binary format that may not be able to explain by using this single window, but it is like if you want to get an image, if you want to open an image, then in that case you have to write f dot. I'm having an image with the name k in that particular folder, so I will just open that. So f dot open, let's say k dot jpg. Now I am using jpg because my figure is in jpg format. So k.jpg, in that case, I have to, if I want to read that one, I have to use rb because I have to open a different file other than text. Then I have to use the binary format. So I am reading, because of that I am using R, and because of the file is a different format, in different format other than text. So I have to use B for binary. Okay, now I can read that particular image. Sorry, I didn't put F. I should not put F. So I will just write F1 equal to open. That format is not right. Open K is my figure name. That is my, I have already saved in that particular folder. And then RP. So this figure is now opened in read mode, and which is also a binary, in binary form or binary mode. Okay, now if we want to create that particular recreate that particular image, to with some new name. Okay, in that case, you can do that by using some different file name. Okay, so let us put some different file name, some f2. Okay, so my f1 is my original figure. Okay, now my f2, that will be, I am creating a new file in that particular folder. So let's say some my figure, I am creating a new jpg file. So this is my new jpg, and why, how I can create that? By using write mode. If I am using write mode, then that if that file is not there, then it will be created. It is not there, it will be created. So this is how we can do, how we can create that figure. Now this is just a file that I have created. The data which is in that figure k with the name k.jpg, that is not in my figure.jpg. Okay, so in order to get that data, I have to go for some for loop. Okay, so for, and I have to take all the lines which is in that k.jpg file, that I have to save into the new file myfig.jpg. Then I can have all those data, right? So for let's say line in f, so all the line, sorry, in f1, right? This should be f1 because I am taking lines from this file. So f1, then I have to go for f2 dot. So my second file, I'm going to write into that file. So write, I'm writing into that file 2, f2. What I have to write? All the lines in the f1. So once I do that, all the lines in my k.jpg figure, that will be written into that myfig.jpg. So in this way, you can have that particular figure. You can get that figure. Okay, so in this case I cannot show you. It will be there, it will be generated in that one. Once you execute this instruction, then it will be generated in that folder. So but I will not be able to uh, show you because I am sharing single window, right? So it will be there anyway. So if actually what I have done here, I have this k.jpg, k as my figure, and I have created another file with the name myfig with the extension .gpg, which means that it's a figure. And then I'm opening that file in write mode with binary, write binary mode. So that will create this particular figure with the file name myfig. And in order to get data from this figure into this figure myfig, I have to use this for loop for line in f1. So it will take all the lines which is in this file f1, and that will be saved into f2, or it will be written into f2. F2 dot write all those lines. So whatever the binary value which is there assumed, which is assigned to this k.jpg, will be saved to this f1 also, binary values, and that will recreate that figure. And if I open that folder again, then I will get this particular figure along with this k. So we can copy that figure by using this code. Okay, so this is how we can handle files by using Python. There are many different ways. If you are if you do that by your own, you can see there are many other different methods in handling Python. Sorry, handling file in Python, so that you can look in more deep into that. Okay, this is just an introduction. Okay.